Today we're going to be talking all about how to set expectations for change. In my work, what I do all the time is I help people change their businesses in some small ways, sometimes big ways. And when that happens, people need to understand why they're doing it. And most situations where people are changing things in their business, it doesn't really work. Things fail. In fact, there's a lovely statistic out there that 80% of change initiatives actually fail to produce the result that people are aiming for. So why is that? Why do so many failed initiatives happen? Why do so many change initiatives fail? Well, first of all, it's because of a lackluster of support. There's just not the support in the people that are needed to make that change really work. There's also a lack of buy-in. People don't buy into what the purpose is for the change. And then you get the resistance. And that's this lovely we have props today. There's this lovely equation that comes out all about the problems about getting people to change. So over here we have change. So if you want successful change to work, then the level of dissatisfaction multiplied by the vision you have for the business, multiplied by the clarity of what you're going to do in the business, has to exceed the resistance. And if the resistance is exceeded, then change happens. Because, what are the causes of this resistance? Well, first of all, people are affected by change. So if you work with people, or people around your organisation are working with you, whether they're employed by you, or maybe they're subcontracting into your business, or maybe there's somebody who's contracted to you. Hi guys, welcome. So the thing is, if somebody's going to be affected by the changes you want to implement in your business, no matter how small or large they are, they need to really understand how the outcome is relevant to them. They need to know what impact it's going to have on them, because otherwise they're going to make that up and that'll create some fear. The second thing is they need to understand why you're bothering to make the change in the first place. You may have that really clear in your mind, but unless people understand why, they're not going to buy into this. They're going to be very resistant to it because they're not going to see the reason for it. And whilst you may be seeing the problem that you're trying to solve by changing your business really clearly, they may not understand that. They may think everything's fine. So if I really think in my position working with you that everything's fine for me, and you're saying, oh yeah, but we're going to make this big change, I'm going, why? My world's fine. I come to work, I do my job, I go home, it's okay. Why do you need to make the change? So there really has to be some clarity about that whole problem so they understand it. And then the final part is, okay, so they've bought into the fact that you're going to make a change, they understand the reason why, but then they're unclear about what to do to help you, to support you, to contribute. Because you're not going to make the change on your own, you've got to have people working with you to make the change. And if they're unclear about the steps that they're going to take, especially the initial steps, then they're going to be going, oh, I don't know about this, I don't know what to do. And the default reaction will happen, which is do nothing, or carry on doing what I've been doing, which might be the problem you're trying to solve. So when the level of dissatisfaction is clear to people, and they really understand your vision, your purpose, and your why you're doing this, and they understand the clear steps that they're going to be taking, then they're able to overcome their resistance and the change can work. So what do we need to do to make that happen? Well, the first thing we need is really good leadership. We need to create an environment where change can happen. Secondly, we've got to be able to describe and communicate the why, the how, and the what really clearly to the people out there, so that they totally understand their role in the change process and they completely understand where you're going with it. If they do that, then they can become people who are going to be on your side, they're going to support you, and most importantly, they're going to contribute to the change process, not resist it. Now, what's the possible outcome of really effective change? Well, first of all, if you get this bit right, the setting of expectations right, you're going to create an environment that is absolutely ready for change. It's going to be right for it. People are going to want to be part of it. They're going to want to play. Now, that's up to you to create that environment. That's the leadership piece. Secondly, you get a chance to involve everyone in your organisation, or everyone who's influenced by your organisation, in the process. They get to come and contribute and make a contribution. You've heard me talk about the contribution revolution before. If you want to have successful change, you want to kick that contribution revolution really into gear. It's got to be running really tough and fast and strong so that people really know how they can contribute to your business. And the outcome for you is you're going to have reduced stress. You're going to have reduced costs, because there's always cost associated with change. But most of that cost is when things don't work and you have to repeat them or go over them again and again and again before they settle in. So if you've got people really on your side buying into the change, then guess what? They're going to get there quicker and it's going to cost you less money. And also the speed of implementation will really increase. It'll get much faster. It'll be something that will drive itself. You're not going to have to pushing it from behind. It's going to want to pull it from in front. People want to get to the next stage. They want to get to the new world because you've described your vision so clearly that they understand how their job, their work, their environment, their input into the world or their impact in the world is going to change, and they're going to want to be able to do more. So great, they're going to be on side. And by the way, doing more might be they become more effective without having to do so much work. Because often change is we're trying to simplify things. But when we simplify something, there's a process, there's a bit in between. I'm changing my systems at the minute from one system called Entreport to Active Campaign. There's more work in the transition. So I've got to understand the benefits of getting to my new campaign system, because that's going to do me a lot better. It's going to save me some money. It's going to be quicker, faster, and much easier to design. So that's the process for me, and everyone involved with that knows that's what we're doing, and they all understand. And finally, the really important thing for all of us, because we're all in this to make money, right? We're doing business to make money. If we get this bit right, if we set the expectations for change up correctly, then what we're going to do is we're going to get the return on investment much quicker, because the whole process is going to cost less and we're going to get to the end faster. What are the things to avoid in this? Well, there's really three things really to avoid. The first thing, avoid telling people what to do. It's really tempting in this sort of situation when you're going to make changes to tell people what to do, because if you're doing that, you're going to put up the barriers, you're going to put people on the back foot, you're going to increase the resistance by doing that. You've got to engage them, you've got to draw them out, so don't tell them what to do. Don't stop listening, especially to their concerns and their worries and their doubts and their fears. Draw those out, take those on board, deal with them like objections, but make sure you make them feel like they've been listened to. And that's for everybody, even your smallest subcontractor. When we used to run Whitley Park, one of our things was our customer days. And they were a really important expression of this, if you like, because what we would do is we'd get the whole team to walk through the customer journey. And in that process, we used to get the Corps of Commissioners who come down, who used to live in Wimbledon. He'd come all the way down to Whitley. He'd be there for the whole day, and he'd be contributing small things. But they made a huge impact on the guest journey because there were things that he was involved with. So listen to everybody. They're going to be able to contribute a lot to you. And don't expect others to do it without you. You've got to be part of the process. You've got to be in there with them. You've got to get your hands dirty, roll your sleeves up, get your shirt off, whatever it is phrase you want to use, but you've got to be part of it. So, what are the 4 steps for leaders? Well, this is really the very simple things you need to be clear about. So first of all, be clear about the problem and be clear about the consequences. What it is you're trying to change, what is it you want to try and get to. Be really clear about that so everybody understands, and they understand from their perspective, where they are in the organisation, where they are in relationship to you. Secondly, explain the outcome and explain why you see the outcome being better. And listen to them, because they may be able to contribute to that. They may be able to add to it and make it even better if you just added a little bit extra in. So don't think that you've had all the brilliant ideas. Engage them to actually help you design that. And when you have got that, what the outcome is, what you've got to do is then say, right, given this outcome, how can you help me get there? What can you contribute? Because I want all of my team to play. I want them to come and play. I don't want to be sitting on the sidelines being passengers, just coming along for the ride. I want them to contribute to this process. Now, you will have passengers in any organisation, of course you will. But those passengers, if they feel supported, will support the contributors. And that's what you want. You want to be taking part in a way that's really helping you move the thing forward. If you get that right, then you're engaging your people in actually creating the future of your business, not telling them what it's going to be. And if you're creating the future with your people, I can assure you, it's a most wonderful experience. It doesn't feel like hard work. It feels like you've got a whole team of people around you helping you get to the next stage. And it's not about you having to direct and tell and push and force. Suddenly the thing comes alive and you get people wanting to be part of the process. And if you've created that environment correctly, as a leader, you've created that environment where people can contribute because they have the clarity, they understand the why, they understand the what and the how they can contribute, then you'll be amazed at how many people will really want to participate in it and take it further forward with you. Short, sharp and sweet today. How many minutes is that? Just over the 10. But here's the thing. Next week, so if you've got the people engaged, you set up their expectations, you still got to find a way of delegating. So next week, I'm going to go deep dive into delegating, the 6 steps of delegating, bust the myths about, the barriers to delegation. Lots of people frightened of delegation. They feel it's difficult to do. We'll get rid of those myths and give you 6 really simple steps to take delegation to the next level. So that as you start to engage people in the process of changing your business, you can really get them to contribute. And you can delegate the task to them so that they bring their best and all of their best knowledge, skills, talent and abilities in service of your vision, your values and your purpose for your business. Hope that was useful. It was short, sharp and sweet, I know, but if you've got any questions or comments, please put them in the comments box and I will respond to them during the week. And if there's anything you want to know about delegation, put it in the comments box because that'll be next week, which is when we'll really bust that little myth open. Okay, guys, thank you very much. Short, sharp and sweet. See you next week.